We have a tweet from Jack Posobiec. He says, breaking, Gold Star family member confirms Biden and Kamala were invited to the Arlington Memorial Service. Quote, we never heard back from them. This story was big. Donald Trump, he lays a wreath down in honor of these 13 service members who died in Afghanistan. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden are nowhere to be found. Biden's on vacation. Kamala's MIA. Who knows what she's doing? And this was really, really bad in the news cycle for them. So what happens? Instantly, the mass media jumps to attention and claims several things. One, Trump's people were fighting with personnel there, and there was an altercation. Another was that he was taking pictures of gravestones at the permission of other families. They said, how dare you use the cemetery as a campaign prop? Oh, look at him giving a thumbs up. They had to turn it into a bad thing because Biden and Kamala were not there. We even got this from CNN. U.S. Army rebukes Trump campaign for incident at Arlington National Cemetery. The funny thing is, with all this criticism, Joe Biden did a campaign event at the cemetery as well. And people started sharing those photos. It is so bad that Kamala and Biden snubbed these families. They had to. They're responsible for the deaths. That the media jumped to their defense and made it a bad thing that Trump was honoring fallen troops. Can you believe that? I suppose, yes. Easily.
I was going to say.
And at this point.
It's impressive, but also on brand for them. I mean, it is sort of the spin you would expect. It was interesting. I've seen a couple interviews with Gold Star families who have said, we invited Trump. We wanted him to be there. Or when he was asked about the picture thing, he was like, look, I don't know anything about it. Like, I just told the families if they wanted to take a picture, we could. Mm-hmm. And it seems kind of pathetic that this is the criticism. The person who went and honored the families of the fallen is the villain to the mainstream media, whereas Joe Biden, who's hanging out on the beach in Delaware, which might I remind everyone is in driving distance of Arlington National Cemetery, and Kamala Harris, who I think was at the White House that day, just didn't show up at all. They didn't even respond. That's
he's the cause of it. It's his.
Well, that's why he can't go.
Yeah,
he
I know.
Can't face
Yeah.
reality.
I hate. Yes.
Well, I'm pretty
You're
sure if you were an honest person, you would be more concerned with why your candidate or the current president is not there than with Trump being there and possibly disbehaving or whatever it is, misbehaving. You would be more concerned with your own candidate and their absence. But this is the guy who I'm pretty sure if you look up Snopes fact check, it says he checked his watch during that ceremony. Right?
Joe Biden checked his watch during...
and that is fact-check true by Snopes.
And it was confirmed in, like, Jen Psaki's book, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just pathetic how much they tried to spend.
Well, I think she lied about it in her book.
Yeah, she tried to
despite the fact that,
right.
yeah. But, and I don't remember, there was a TikTok I shared recently from a wife who, her husband died not in the pullout from Afghanistan. And she said also Biden was not there when they brought his body home. So, I mean, it's like a repeated thing here. And it looks awful. It is awful.
We had a guest on the show a couple weeks ago, Buzz, who was talking about how Hillary Clinton just didn't really respect
Buzz
the military.
Patterson?
Buzz Patterson, and he was talking about how she didn't really want the military members who were in the White House to wear the uniform. And I actually feel like I see that attitude reflected in a lot of younger Democrats. There's sort of a level of like. I don't want to say disgust with the military, but there's some kind of like they look down on it. They don't want to talk about it. They're not interested. They don't see any sort of like patriotic duty or any sort of level of necessary respect. Do you think that's one of the reasons Democratic voters don't pick up on why this spin is so disrespectful to the families of the soldiers?
I think that on the other side, there is a fundamental lack of respect and appreciation for this country. The first time I ever felt patriotic, and I'm not proud of this, I'm ashamed of it, was when I walked away from the Democratic Party. I didn't feel pride in my country before that. And again, I want to emphasize that this wasn't like an overnight shift where I just jumped from one pot to the other, but it was like exciting. For the first time in my life, I felt proud. I bought all this like patriotic gear, and I had never felt that before. And I think a lot of people from my generation are like that. I mean, maybe it's also a regional thing, like I said. They do not respect this country, Democrats. They don't have, a lot of them do not. I won't say every single one. They don't respect this country. I watched an advanced screening of Am I Racist the other night, And what I won't give away any spoilers or anything, but he goes to Race to Dinner, which is something that I'm sure you guys have heard of. It's two women who come and
Rich white women pay for it.
shame white women. Yeah, you cook a black woman and a brown woman dinner, and they tell you how racist you are. And one of these women, I don't remember her name, so I'm gonna butcher it, so I won't say it. But she comes right out and says, and it's not the first time she says it, but she says it in the documentary, that this country is trash. There's nothing worth saving. I think that is something that is rampant on that side, and that's why they want to burn it all down. So I think that ties into this lack of respect for the military, but then of course they want to grandstand that they're the ones respecting. Wouldn't it have been nice if they all showed up, Kamala and Trump,
You know,
and everyone?